Petroidas residents are called Lynette Boyson.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm grateful for everybody's presence here today. First and foremost, I'd like to welcome our Councillor Valencia, our Deputy Regional Coordinator Richard, and then our distinguished guest, Honourable Nico Smith, Shadow Minister of Finance for the PDM of Namibia. Mr. Smith, on behalf of everybody here, I would like to express our warmest welcomes and gratitude for joining us today. It is my sincere wish that we can build the bonds of friendship and trust through continued engagement with the community. And then to the lady of the house, congratulations on an outstanding initiative. If it wasn't for your commitment and your compassion and for your drive, none of us would be here today.
Thank you.
The PDA members of Walvis Bay are very excited and committed to follow through and support this, pushing it from strength to strength. So thank you for everybody here. Thank you for your time and your support, and to new beginnings. Thank you.
Awesome. Well articulated, Lynette. Thank you. Are we all welcome?
Yes.
And we're all at ease, even the dignitaries here today.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, someone, yes, from Mr. Richard. Okay, Mr. Richard will then someone be first to give us a regional address as the Deputy Regional Coordinator of PDM, Mr. Richard Haber.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of Honorable Nico Smith. Thank you very much for coming to Walvis Bay and being present with us at this small occasion, but also one of the many occasions that will be happening as well. And then also thanks to Ms. Petraita for opening up your house as well as your heart for us to be able to be part of this project as well, in order to help the community of Walvis Bay. As you all know, we all have been struck with this COVID-19 pandemic, and we had severely suffered for it. Thank you to the President that Friday the lockdown has been uplifted, but yet we still have got a very challenging road forward that we have to still go through. And with that, PDM wants to be part of a project whereby we also give back to the community. We give back to the people that has lost their jobs, that has lost tremendously also through COVID-19, so financial as well as in any other form that we can to help you. And with this gesture that we have right now to donate blankets and mattresses as well as food and so forth, at least it will make a difference, and it's a start somewhere, and we start as a community. First of all, even being associated, like I said earlier, even being associated with an organization, but it first starts as you as a human being, because you are part of that community. We are part of Walvis Bay community, so we need to stand up as a community members and to assist your next fellow person next to you. Say that, how can I help you? Have you slept well? Did you eat? Are you warm enough? That is where it starts, with the gratitude. And I believe we have been raised well by our parents, and we need to lead as well. Take up from what our parents have left behind. Take the legacy, move on with it forward. So I believe that, and I am grateful that all of you are here, and that will be, it's an honor to at least share what we have, and that little what we can and what we gathered with the fellow Namibians as well, fellow Walvis Bay residents. And this is just a start at Tutaleni. This is the first, on the 19th, that we are starting with Tutaleni, but it is not where it's going to end. It does not end here. We will still continue further within the whole of Walvis Bay, Naraval, and the other parts of Quisepmont as well, that we'll see how we can assist. So thank you very much. But I believe God will bless us and also continue blessing you as well. And thank you, open up your hearts and allowing us to be able to help you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Richard. Just a short overview for those of you that don't know, also on social media and stuff that are following us live here. We are at Meme Petroida's residence for the Petro Daycare Center here in Tutaleni. Now this is a remarkable woman. Remarkable in the sense that she from her own pocket serves this community with food. And she has her own daycare center here that was severely hit through the lockdown measures that was put into place. Now this is the type of initiatives that we as a party want to associate us with and journey with such people. These are our modern day and our very present heroes in our community that needs our support and needs everyone's support and input. And with those words, I'm going to introduce Councillor Valencia Isaacs.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're actually honored to have our Shadow Minister, Mr. Nico Smith of the Finance Department from the PDM. We acknowledge his presence. I'm actually honored to be part of this program. What is his name?
Petro
Petro's
Daycare Center.
Daycare Center, the soup kitchen. On behalf of PDM, and I would also like to acknowledge, as I said, Nico Smith, our Shadow Minister of Finance of PDM. We as PDM are really proud to be part of this soup kitchen. We as PDM would also like to help all the people who are in need. We also have started in Narwhal already with a soup kitchen, and also we urge all the people, the business people, to come and help, give a helping hand. So with these few words, I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor, for being short and sweet. People, we'll not waste our precious time today here. We've come to assist, we've come to hand over, and we've come to journey with people and make a public commitment that we are going to journey with Meme Petroida. So without any further ado, then I will introduce our Honourable Nico Smith and Shadow Minister in Parliament.
Yeah, thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Thank you for inviting me, arrange me to be here today. It's really an honor and I'm proud. I'm proud of you and I'm proud of what I'm seeing here today. It's really an achievement, I must say. So, Honourable Councillor, our Deputy Coordinator, all our other leaders here, our candidates to be for the local elections who are here present today. I'm very glad that you have joined us in this special occasion why we are here today. Now, I want to say a few things about this COVID pandemic and also the lockdown. I think the government, the ruling SWAPO party, has done Namibia a bad deal by introducing a state of emergency at the beginning of this COVID pandemic. They did not take up this issue properly. They did no research on what this COVID-19 thing was. They just jumped onto the wagon, the international bandwagon, to declare a state of emergency, which was not necessary with the laws that we have in place. When that state of emergency was announced, we are on record, me personally, I've said that it was not necessary to declare a state of emergency. That in the Health Act, we have more than sufficient legal instruments to do what is necessary in a case of a pandemic, because that law specifically also mentioned if any disease breaks out and it turn into a pandemic, that it can be handled according to the health law, the Act. And in the Act is exactly all the instruments that was proclamated by the President. But by announcing, declaring a state of a nation, he destroyed this country economically. SWAPO was the direct responsibility that so many people of us, our people, have lost their jobs. Because businesses was to close down.
Yes.
Was to close. You were not allowed to operate. There was a law, there was a proclamation, there was a law that forbid you to run your business.
Yes.
Now, how can any business in this world keep on paying its workers, its overheads, its rent, everything without an income? That's not possible. If you don't have money in your house, you can't buy food. Then you have to starve. And that is what happened to the businesses. Caused by the irresponsibility decision of SWAPO, the ruling party, when they announced a state of emergency. Now when they announced it, they immediately proclaimed a lockdown. Okay? Now, if you go and look what is a lockdown for, a lockdown, and you can go and read about it, is meant for the government or the organization who is in charge of this lockdown to analyze the problem that they are experiencing and then come up with a plan in the shortest possible time. What is our plan of action to handle this situation in the case of COVID-19? A lockdown is not a cure for the situation. Lockdown can't cure corona. There must be other things put in place, like medicine. We must get medicine, we must do A, B, C, D, and all these kind of things. That is to fight the virus.
The virus.
But to lock down is not the answer. And we have said it time and again. And asked the government, what is your plan
Yes.
of action? How are you going to fight? Apart from locking us down, what are you going to do? Now we're going to test. Now, okay, after you have tested, what then? No, then we will quarantine you. And after you quarantine us, what then? Oh no, then you must stay there, you know? And then, no, when you are better, you can go home. Now, is that a remedy? That's not a remedy. That is why we are saying the government had no plan and still don't have a plan. Take for instance, during the budget this year in April, we approved, and listen carefully, 801 billion Namibian dollars. 801 billion Namibian dollars. When the budget was on the table, I asked the question in my speech on the budget. In the budget, you don't explain to us what are you going to do with the 801 billion. People, do you know how much is 801 billion Namibian dollars? No? We can fill this house, if we make it cash, we can fill this whole house with that money. So much it will be. There was no plan. It was spread on over 4 departments, but with no detail.
Yes.
I said, if you ask for money, then you must tell us what you want to go and do with the money. Are you going to buy medicine? Are you going to build hospitals? Are you going to do what with that money to fight the virus, the pandemic? But there's no explanation. And then after we locked down, And this lockdown thing was just to get money from international donors. It was a gimmick. It was a joke. They got huge amounts of the World Health Organization, from the International Monetary Fund, from European countries. Germany gave us 100 and what million. France gave us how many million? All this money. Huh? That was only a trick to get that money without announcing a state of emergency and lockdown. We would not have get that money. So this was a money-making business of SWAPO. Not to resolve the problem, but to get, to do something for our people. It was a money-making thing. Yes. And we got more than 800 million, nearly 900 million in donations from across the world. Nearly 1 billion. Now, I've checked to the best of my ability. And not that I'm an expert, but I know something about finances. I know something about economics. Yeah? I checked, I could only trace of that $801 billion that we approved without a plan. We approved it, that the only money that was spent was that $750 that were paid to only some people who lost their jobs. How many of you didn't receive your money? Many people. Where's that money? And that only amounted to $151 million that they have paid out.
170 million.
Or 70 million, something like that. Now, what about the rest of the people? And what is the use to lock a country in for 6 months, and over that whole period you give the people only $750? To do what with? What do they think of us? Huh? What do they think of the people who lost their jobs? What must you do with 750 if you have a wife, kids and whatever? What food can you buy? So what nonsense is this? But that is the only money that they spent, that we could trace of that 801 billion. All the other things that they did, this testing, this quarantine centers, all those kind of things were covered, were paid by that donations that we got of nearly $1 billion. That money was used for that. But then it was not the end. Then we read in the newspapers, everywhere, that they have applied for another loan of 4.2 billion from the World IMF. 4.2 billion, not million, billion. Now then I've said, if you didn't know what you are going to do and still don't know what you are going to do with the 8.1 billion, why are you asking 4.2 billion? To do it what with? What will you do? You said you were going to fight Corona. How did you fight Corona with the 8.1 billion? We don't know. Where's the medicine? Where's what? There's nothing. So this SWAPO government must stop taking our people for fools. We are not fools. We know what's going on in this country. They are stealing that money, they are eating that money. Where is it? Why can't they tell us what they are doing with that money? Now they built here a hospital for how many? 12 million, 15 million?
12 million.
12 million. It's not possible. I asked quantity surveyors to look at the plans for that thing. That thing is 4 million. Where's the other 8 million went to? Huh? Let them tell us who took the other 8 million.
24 million.
Huh? It's ridiculous. We also know how to work a calculator. We can also make calculations.
1 + 1 is 2.
All of us, some of us are even better qualified 10 times than they are. So please, the SWAPO government must stop. We have lost confidence in them. They are not able and capable of running this country. We will take over. Come 2024, we will take over. What we are saying, and and you must listen carefully. I'm not ashamed to say it. At the moment, as politics stands, with the results of last year, where Keinkop only got 63%. Huh? He nearly lost. He was nearly gone. There was nearly a runoff between him and Itula. Huh? With that, and what is going on at the moment in this country, with the mismanagement of our money and our resources, we as opposition parties, and I'm calling also on my own party, the PDM, we must join forces with other political parties. Let's call a spade, let's be honest. We must analyze the political situation very cleverly and wisely. At this point in time, no political party, opposition party, has the ability, really, on its own, to win the election against SWAPO. Let's be honest. But together, the opposition parties together will sweep SWAPO. They will not be there in 2024. Take my word. Now, I believe some people who are here are maybe from SWAPO, are maybe from the UPM, or maybe from IPC, or maybe from LPM. Maybe you are here. I don't know. But if you are here, you are most welcome. We belong together. We must have one aim, an objective, to get rid of SWAPO. SWAPO must go. SWAPO must go. We don't want SWAPO anymore. You know, look what's happening at the moment today. Look what's happening in Zimbabwe. What that government is doing to its people, shooting them, assaulting them with some box, tear gassing them. Terrible things are happening there because the people are standing up against that government, same as SWAPO. That nonsense of Robert Mugabe, he left, you know. Now, when our president, when Vanani brought this week a motion to Parliament to discuss the situation in Zimbabwe, this Minister of Foreign Affairs of us, this Ndaitwa, stood up under the disguise that she wants to make a ministerial statement. Before McHenry, Vanani was to speak. Then she made a ministerial statement and said, we have dark forces, so to say, in Namibia, who wants to get rid of our liberation movements. Like ZANU-PF, like SWAPO, like the ANC. Because in all three of those countries, the people are fed up with this so-called liberation movements. They all are mismanaging their countries. So SWAPO and everybody realize it, so they say there are dark forces who want to get rid of them. So they want to call on their people to unite, to stand up. And say, and then our President Vanani stood up and he objected. He said, you are not allowed to speak. My motion is on the table. You can't come and now say these things under a ministerial statement. And there was chaos in the house. You know, we are fighting and what. But then SWAPO just pushed it through. And then when Vanani stood up and want to speak on this terrible things that happening in our neighboring country, SWAPO voted the motion down. He was not allowed to speak. Now is that democracy? Where our people, our neighbors are suffering. Zimbabwe is totally destroyed, its economy. Nothing is going on in that country. How many thousands of Zimbabweans are in this country surviving here? We welcome them as brothers and sisters so that they can survive. They are most welcome to come here. Most welcome. But now we are not allowed to discuss the issues in Zimbabwe because we are dark forces. What dark forces? SWAPO is the dark force in this country. They are the dark force. They are destroying the economy of this country. They are misusing our natural resources for their own benefit. They are stealing our fish. Where are the jobs that Kawana promised our fishermen? Where are they? We are 8 months down the road. Where's those promises? Who is he fooling? SWAPO must stop its lies and the nonsense they are telling our people. We are tired of this. SWAPO must sit down and it must go. We don't want to see them anymore in this country. Now, dear friends, to come back to why we are here today. I'm very proud of the owner of this house, our madam, for what she's doing in this community. This is the type of people that we need. She was telling me she built this place from the money she got from selling fat cook. Fat cook. Now, for how much are you selling one fat cook? How much?
$1.
$1. How many $1 was needed to build this crash? How many? But just it shows you what can be done with little money. So never look down on small money. You need small money to get big money. You will not get big money if you don't save your small money. And I'm so proud, of our women. Really. You make me so proud. Honestly speaking, I doubt whether a man can do what she did. Honestly speaking. Because a woman knows how to save lives, how to feed mouths. That is what you women know how to do. So we are proud of you. We say thank you for what you did and what you are doing for your community. Let you be an example to each and every one of us. This is what we must do to survive ourselves and to uplift our community to a higher level, to improve the quality of life. That is why we are there for. Not to let our people stay in the dust, in the mud. We must uplift them and we must improve their quality of life so that they also feel proud to be a Namibian.
Yes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to hand over to you a few things that we think you need to also to improve your life a little bit. But I also know in what we are doing now, we will actually create something that will come back to us the PDM. The other day when, in Windhoek, when those poor people staying under the bridges, those children and sleeping in the bush, were with the beginning of the lockdown and COVID, they were moved into Katatura, there at the youth center, and they were housed there in tents. Then we went and we bought a lot of food and we handed over to them. And it was on Facebook and everywhere in the news. And the following day, the whole of Namibia was sending WhatsApps, our people, from Katima Malilo up to Karasburg, up to Upor. Where is our food? Where is our food? Now, tonight, after we handed this over, because we are here live on social media now, our people see it, what's happening here across the country. At this moment, across the country, they can see. After this, the SMSs and WhatsApps will come in. Where's our mattress? Where's my blanket? We will be in trouble. But we will handle that. We are so proud that we are in a position to relieve your suffering. Julle swaar kry 'n bietjie. Dis nie baie nie, dis 'n bietjie. Maar soos ek sê, 'n bietjie help ook. Sonder 'n bietjie kan jy nie meer hê. Dis die klein dingetjies in die lewe wat help. Small things helps to improve your life. So what we are giving you is it's not what you really need, all that you need. It's only to help you a little bit. And I want to thank our Deputy Coordinator, Mr. Richard, all our people here of the PDM, which are our leaders in Walvis Bay. I want to thank them